And we are live. Hey there, guys. So I just wanted to go ahead and jump on real quick. I know in the last couple of videos and the last couple of interviews that we've done, I've talked about stocks. So I figured I'm about to pretty much do my deep dive on my stocks to see where we're going in the market. So why not go ahead and just give you guys a couple of stocks that I'm looking at and see if you like the overall process that I go through. Now, one thing I do have to say is this is definitely not financial advice. This is just a system that I've built over the last couple of years that works excellent for me because I put in the work. I made sure that I did the research to make sure that this is a process that I can follow, because the only way to make money truly in the stock market and or cryptocurrency is to create your own set of rules that you know you can follow, your own system and strategy that you are able to understand, not what some guru is telling you on the internet. So that's just one thing I want to go ahead and put flat out there. This is my own system that I use all the time in combination with doing basic fundamental research on a stock before I even make an investment anymore, because I'm not going to have those negative 2.56% returns that you get in any traditional market when you have a money manager. So let's just go ahead and we'll dive right on into it. All right, so first stock I have up right now that I absolutely am obsessed with, and I absolutely love everything about this company, to include the software, because I've used it when I was in the military, is Palantir. This stock is just brilliant. It's run by a very good team. Karp's a little bit weird as a CEO, but he's all right. Like, he has a lot of great ideas. He was part of the whole team behind PayPal and all that goodness. So he has a great idea of what's going on. Now, jumping into the overall chart, because that's where we're going to focus, basically my technical analysis approach. My technical analysis approach covers basically all supply and demand fundamentals. That's it. No tricky bells and whistles, no crazy gimmicks, no I absolutely need to see this crazy line going up and down and all sorts of madness. I have a very, very simple process that I follow. I've developed it, I've created it, and I know it works. At least it works for me. Again, not financial advice. Now, Palantir, what we see here is we see the all-time high up here at 45. Now, I don't have anything currently blotted up there because we're just not there yet. So that's foreshadowing something that I can't anticipate, because if anyone tells you that they know exactly where a stock is going, they're lying. Now, jumping over here to our current prices, you can see that I have a couple of gray boxes on here. Now, these are what are known as supply and demand zones. These supply and demand zones are based on a number of factors, to include volume, price action, and basically general buildups of buys versus sells. Those are your supply versus demand. So if there is a greater supply than there is a demand, your price is going to go down. If there is a greater demand than there is a supply, your price is going to go up. Very easy, very simple to follow. The only thing that's even tricky about my entire situation is this middle indicator right here, which I personally developed through 3 years of reading and research and completely coded it myself. It's what I call the Psych Sigma. And it literally just tracks the psychology of the market for me, because I just don't have the time to sit there and read 1,000 articles and make sure everything is absolutely being told truthful about an individual stock. So that's why I created Psych Sigma. It's a mathematical variation on a number of things. Clearly, I don't want to give all the juicy details out about it because it's my baby. I absolutely love Psych Sigma. Now, whenever, very, very simple rules that go with Psych Sigma. Whenever the price starts to get a point where it's too expensive, the supply is too high for the current demand, it will end up going up here into this purple area. Anything in purple, I'm not buying. I'm not doing anything. I'm creating cash on the side. I'm getting ready to buy more stock at a cheaper price. Now, the reason why it's purple and not red is very, very simple. Red means you're dead. Red means you're probably going to sell immediately. It creates a false interpretation of how you should actually look at the market. That's why I changed it to purple. Purple is very simple because it's like, well, it might sell off, but it's not 100% guaranteed. That's why I like purple, because it's like, okay, well, now I got to start watching. I got to make sure that I'm watching my positions and making sure that they work correctly. Whenever it's in purple, I'm not buying. If anything, I'll probably be selling off portions of my position to make sure that I'm capturing those profits from the bottom, which I probably bought at. Now, down here in the green, it's a darker green, so it's not 100% guaranteed to buy because it can still go down from there. But if it's in the green, it's more than likely a buy. It's a good time to start accumulating some more of that stock because you are in a demand zone. It is time to pick up that stock. The demand is going to start to get higher in the coming weeks, coming months. You're going to start to see a huge price increase. And that's just basically how my strategy works. Buy in the green, sell in the purple. Very simple. Or if you're a long-term investor, just go ahead, buy in the green, and then just let it ride and let it ride and let it ride and let it build. And Palantir is one of those stocks that I truly believe the fundamentals are there. They're going to have the future cash flow, the future discounted cash flow, in fact, to be able to justify a much, much higher price. And right now, I'm estimating, again, not financial advice, I am estimating an easy $30 price. And that's just in the near future. So we might have a dip right now because, like I said, we're in the purple. Probably going to have a little bit of a sell-off. It's got to cool down. It's been running hype these last couple of weeks. A little bit high. Probably shouldn't put too much credence on where that valuation is at the moment. Probably going to go down. So when it gets back down here and starts to test these zones on the way down, I would probably start buying again right around $11 because there's a big, strong zone in there. You can see multiple price action points, either sells or buys. It wasn't able to break through there. So clearly there's something going on there. There's people starting to accumulate a lot of positions. That is indeed a demand zone. Now above, we have a supply zone. You can see we're having the biggest time breaking through this $18 mark. Like we can't get through it no matter what we're doing. The price action just isn't strong enough at this point. We don't have enough demand to force that stock up. We really need some money makers to go ahead and jump in, but they're all sitting on the sidelines in cash because they're anticipating something. What are they anticipating? Probably a greater recession and or depression after this election cycle if I were a gambling man. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and say. It is my opinion that we're probably going to go into a greater recession or a greater depression because of the way that all these big money makers are holding on to cash reserves. It's just pretty much where they're at. Now, another stock that I am absolutely in love with at the moment is this one right here, SoFi Technologies. Now, Cody, what is SoFi Technologies? Well, it is a company that has a lot to do with multiple things. It's an online banking company. It also has a lot to do with several other things to include student loan debt. Now, that is a huge thing because obviously with the moratorium about to be lifted here in 30 some days pretty much, and the Supreme Court ruling that the president cannot get rid of these student loans, it's not a legal thing to do. Well, this company has a lot of potential in it. Until pretty much their entire business model is built off of a lot of this stuff. So as soon as we go ahead and we start to see that run, obviously you can see that high point all the way up here at 25. Do I think we're going to get there right now? Probably not, because looking right here in this purple area, we're high. We're too high for the current price. That valuation is not a good valuation for this stock at the moment. Psych Sigma says no, so we wait. Now, what I think is probably going to do is probably bounce around here for a little bit, come back down, probably test down here between 5 and 4, And then we'll go ahead and we'll decide where the stock wants to go. As soon as there is no moratorium, all games off, people have to start paying back loans, and this online bank is starting to run, I have a strong feeling, again, my opinion, not financial advice, that this stock is going to absolutely just destroy the banking sector, because I truly believe that this is something that we're going to see in the future. SoFi is going to run like wild. They have a great business model. I mean, they have a great background business model. So it meets all of my criteria to be a stock, to be on my watch list. It's one of those that I am looking at very heavily. Now, you have to be very, very safe when you're doing any of your investments. Do all of your proper research. Your due diligence is what's going to save you a ton of money and not have to pay a ton of fees to a bunch of market managers. Anyone can do this. It's very, very simple. They said it themselves on Wall Street. Even they don't know what they're doing. So it is what it is. You got to take that all with a grain of salt. And then you have to go ahead and you have to try and do your best to create your own strategies, your own rules for trying to get into stocks. Now, when this gets down to the green, SoFi is a buy for me. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to load up. Could it be a loss? Yeah, but no risk, no reward. So that's my overall plan for the market. I'm watching these two in particular. Now, if we want to go ahead and do a broad market overview, we'll just go ahead and take a look at the SPY. So SPY is the S&P. It's a ETF that follows the S&P. Now, the main thing that we want to go ahead and look at here is, again, guess where we're at? If you look right there in the purple, we are high. There's no way we're going to be that high. We haven't even begun to test that upper limit again, where the S&P was just back in 2022, roughly about this time. So it's been a year. We don't know if we're going to go higher. The S&P pretty much always goes higher at some point in time, but I think we have a little more room for a bigger decline because, again, if I were a gambling man, I would say there's probably a recession and or a depression on the way. Too many people are holding on to too many cash reserves for there to actually be nothing looming in the air. It's a little bit spooky to me. So I'm building cash on the side. I am ready to go as soon as the market has some ability to actually run and surge again. I'm all in, like absolutely all in. But right now you can see in the general market, we're high. It meets the rules for not buying. It's in the purple, not a good buy. It can stay in the purple for a while before it hits these green zones. So it's all right. I can be patient. I can wait. It can come right back down. Then I'll dollar cost average in as it meets my rules, because that's another thing. You have to dollar cost average in so that you're not spending too much, but you're not missing opportunities to make profit. And ultimately, it's all up to your risk factors. So you have to make sure that it meets your risk criteria based on your rules, based on your strategy. So that's all I wanted to go ahead and throw out here, guys. Those are just a couple of stocks I'm looking at. My overall strategy, I truly think Palantir and SoFi have amazing potential in the future. And I can't wait to be proven right. So just keep following your own rules, keep following your own stuff, and you'll get there as well. All right, guys. Peace.